So welcome to the FollowMeTrades.com Saturday Scanning session, looking for great trades. I'm Dean Jenkins, founder of FollowMeTrades.com. I'm glad to have you. Got a good room here. Got several people, about coming up on 100 people. I think we'll have more logging in. So I look forward to this. Like I said in my invitation, this is a time I set aside to look for great trades for the upcoming week. And so I just invite you to follow along with me. I'll explain real quickly what I'm looking for in great trades, and then we're going to jump right in. And I've got three customers here, three students, good folks who've been following along for a while, and they're going to jump in and offer their comments as well. Yeah, we're going to be here about an hour. We'll see how it goes, hour or less. Just get real focused here and find some great trades. You got a hurricane coming, Dean Anthony. So he's on the online here to maybe make a few comments, but he's down in Florida, got a hurricane coming. Well, that's the priority, Anthony or Dean, is to deal with the hurricane and your safety and your family, man. So thoughts and prayers go out to. I know we got a handful of people who are down there. That does not look good. So be safe. All right. So locate that chat window in the Zoom webinar platform. I just switched to Zoom webinar about a month or two ago, and I sure like it. Hey, FC, first time here? Awesome. Yeah, so locate that chat window, and then you can type any questions you have in there, any comments. There's going to be a point where we'll look at any stock charts that you're interested in. That's where you would type them in. Notice in the chat thing, there's an address bar. It says to. So you can choose to just send them to the panelists, which are me and a couple other of my customers here, or the entire audience. You would just say panelists and all attendees, and everybody can see your comments, and that's just fine. It's a open forum. We got nothing to hide here. All right, unless a troll shows up, we'll just kick them out. No need for that. Okay, so just a quick. While you're locating that chat window, go ahead and type in where you at, where you calling from, what city, what state, what country. We typically have people from all over the world. So take a minute there and type that in. Dallas, San Diego, Toronto, Edmonton. It's going faster than I can speak. Netherlands, oh nice. Amsterdam, Netherlands. San Francisco, Waterloo, Belgium. Xavier, hey man. Iowa, Wellington, Florida, Dean. Yeah, so you're in the path, man. Be careful. Louisville, Madrid, Mississauga. Is that like Mississippi? Woodlands, Budapest, Pleasanton, California. I've been to Pleasanton. I used to go to Concord all the time when I was in the Navy. Reno, Norway, Toronto, Tel Aviv. Very cool. We have a handful of folks calling in from Israel once in a while. That's outstanding. Brad's from Kennewick. So I'm in Washington State. So Brad's down by the a little bit east, and now by the Columbia River. I'm about an hour south of Seattle. I know where I am. Sterling, Virginia. Very nice. All right, well, we got people from all over the place, near Reno in the mountains. That is beautiful country there, Jim. Boston, Jacksonville. I don't know my Florida geography very well. Sorry to say. Is Jacksonville in the path? Farad, yeah, this is being recorded, absolutely. As long as the technology works and the file doesn't get corrupted, we'll have a link to the recording. Jacksonville's north. Okay. Yeah, you bet. Okay, well, hey, let's get started. I got my coffee here. I'm ready. Let's go find some trades. Yorkshire, England. Nice, man. Nice. Okay, just a quick reminder, I'm a trader. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving financial advice. I share what I do, and each person has to make their own decision about what they're going to do, right? I talk about my methods for analyzing the market, my method for analyzing trade, my criteria. When I see it, a great setup, I'll point it out and go, that's a trade I like, and that's a trade I'm going to take. Whether you act on that or not, that's your decision. Only you know what's best for you. All trading and investing involves risk. We all know that. And so I'm not giving financial advice. I just share what I do, and each person makes their own decision about that. All right. I'm going to now share a screen. This one here. Maybe I already was. There we go. Okay. So what I do in scanning, there's 1,000 ways to scan the markets, and as I've done these sessions before, I do a little bit different each time. I don't do it every week. I do it periodically, but there sure seems to be a lot of interest, and maybe I'll step it up. But when I'm scanning, first thing I like to do is just create a big picture. What is going on in the overall market? Then I create a thesis about what I think is going to happen. And a thesis is, it's an unproven, theory. I think this has happened. It's unfounded, ungrounded, but it gives me an area to go look in or a direction to go look in. Then I narrow that. I take a really big list, narrow it down to a manageable list, and I see if that thesis is true, whether there's individual trade setups. And then if I find them, right, I'm going to take them. So I'm going to analyze stock charts. I'm going to do a scan here together with you. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing as I start looking for some trades for the week. And we get through that. I'm happy to field questions along the way and look at stocks you're interested in. FC, not a real trader yet. Get the knowledge. Well, that's a wise way to approach it, right? Too many people just jump in and lose a little money and then decide to get educated. So it's wise to get some information first before you put real money online, because it is real money, and we can take real losses if we're not careful. So I use a combination of things in my trading, and what I'm going to do is bring a chart over here and do just a little bit of drawing on the chart and tell you what I'm looking for in trade setups. And you may agree with my methods, you may disagree. It's okay. Maybe you'll learn something new. Who knows? In your comments, maybe I'll learn something from you too, right? Trading is anything in life, anything complex. We want to be continually learning and improving. So I hope you have an open mind. And again, if you don't agree with what I'm doing, that's all right. We're still friends. All right, so I use a combination of Elliott Wave, a very simple, repeatable version of Elliott Wave. I use Ichimoku Cloud. I use Dow theory to help with trend confirmation, trend change confirmation. And I also use the applied reality tools from traderscoach.com. You can see these pyramids, these 1B, 2Bs, this oscillator, this strip down here. Those are all helpful. A lot of people go, well, what indicator tells you whether or not to take a trade? And it's none. It's a combination of all things lining up for me. So I look for about 4 or 5 criteria for a trade to be hit. And I'm going to drag the price action off the screen and just annotate here for a minute, get the drawing tools out. So, a chart, on a chart, we look at it, whether it's stocks, options, futures, whatever, and it doesn't matter what time frame. Either you have a channeling market, or you have a trending market, or you have a trending market that's correcting, or you have a trending market that corrected and is now resuming the trend, and that looks just the opposite on a bearish move, right? Those are the interesting patterns that I'm looking for. Channeling market that might break out, market that's trended, market that trended and corrected, market that trended, corrected, and is now continuing. Those are the patterns I'm interested in. Most charts will fall into that pattern. What we don't want is a chart doing this, right? That's a mess, and we're not interested in messy charts that have no order to them, no, impulsive moves, corrective moves, continuation moves. If we got a messy chart, we're just going to move right on from that, and we're just not interested in it. So that's the basic thing we're looking for here, and then we use some tools to tell us what might be happening next. One of the things I don't do is chase trends. Once a trend has been established and it's heading on, right, I don't try and chase it. It might continue, it might end. I have no way to predict that, and I like to have an edge in my trading and have probability on my side of winning. So once the trend has been established, I'm no longer interested. So we're looking here at the S&P 500, and this obviously is a trend that has been going on. We're really looking at the data here from the presidential election until now. But when we step back, we've been in an 8-year bull market. If we go to a weekly chart, we're in an 8-year bull market. Yeah, I'm using TradeStation is the platform I'm working with. But these concepts I'm using could work on any legitimate platform. A lot of my customers and students are using Thinkorswim or other stuff. All right, so S&P 500. There's something interesting going on here. It's in a run. There's a bull market, and again, if you look at it on a, oops, we don't want that. We want a weekly chart, right? Wow, this has been in a run since 2009. Incredible bull run. Do think at some point it will end. It will end. I don't have any, Shane, I don't have any experience with Canada and Moto E squared, cubed, like MT5. Nice. Yeah, I know a lot of people use MetaTrader as well. So here we have this big impulsive move since the presidential election. And like I said, I use Ichimoku Cloud. It's this shaded area. The Ichimoku Cloud it confirms trends, and it predicts support areas in an uptrend and then resistance areas in a downtrend. So you can see it's done a pretty good job. As price came to the cloud, it found support, reversed and went back up, found support, went back up, found support. This is the deepest move we've seen into the cloud since the presidential election. And look how thin this area is getting. The thinner it is, then the smaller the resistance power that's being projected. This thing's projected several bars out in advance, and it does a good job. But that means that the price could break through this more easily. And we see here, I use Dow theory to help me determine when a trend has changed. Right, and we can see we had some moves here of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We took out this high here, but we haven't taken out the big. We haven't put in a new high here. We really can look at a lower low, lower high. And if this thing comes down through the Ichimoku Cloud, goes lower than this low, we may have us a pretty good little correction, down into this kind of region. This may not be the big one yet, but that's a very tradable move if it happens. Now, it's not proven yet. It's not proven yet. So but we're watching. We do have a reversal happening up here. So let's see if we can break through here at about what? Let me turn my drawing tools off. Get the right thing going here. I'm going to draw a horizontal line. So if we can take out this previous low and get down through the cloud, right down here at about 24.14, we may have a pretty good sized move coming down. And that's something new since the election. So I'm kind of interested in looking in stocks that might be leading that down. So I'm leaning more toward bearish trades at this time. All right. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to take any long trades either. I trade both sides of the market, and even when the market's going up, there's good bearish trades, and even when the market's going down, there's good bullish trades. And using this method, so I'm looking again for an impulsive move to catch, or a correction to catch, or a continuation of the original trend. Those are the setups I'm looking for, and I have some tools here that help me with that. And this method's worked really good. We're getting good results year after year. The track records are on my website, and you can go look at that if you like. There's about 5 years worth of track record there of how we've been doing. And even just recently, my point about, you can be trading long and short at the same time and winning. Here's a trade that we are still in, right? And this is CLMT, right? So this had a big down move, and then it channeled, and then it broke out. So we caught this thing at using the exact methods we're going to be scanning with today. We caught this in a scan earlier and took it long at $5. And we're up here, right? This thing's up at 775. We've already taken profit. This is our stop. So this red line's my stop. This blue line's my entry. Green line's the target, right? We established, the entry, of course, and the target back here in July. And so this works, right? Not every trade wins, but we were long this one at the same time we were short Seagate. So it's not like, the ocean and the current and everything goes one direction. So while we were long Calumet, we were short STX. We got short at 4106. We took it down and ended up getting out of this trade here at 32.40, and that was a really, really nice winner. Shane, yeah, I only trade stock and options at this point. That's my focus. Doesn't mean that you can't trade futures or Forex or other things. It's just that's my focus. That's where I'm really comfortable. That's where I've been the most successful. That's where I'm going to put my energy. I focus mainly on daily charts, sometimes 60-minute charts, 30-minute. I don't trade intraday. I'm not a day trader, and currently don't trade futures because, again, this is very relaxed trading. I can take, spend an hour or so scanning, put my trades on at the open Monday, and literally spend a few minutes each week just updating them and checking them out, and go do other stuff, and just focus on trading folks and running my business. Yeah, Heiken-Ashi candles. No, I don't use them. I just use standard candlesticks here, and then these indicators that I've been talking about. All right, so that's just a little bit about what I'm looking for to trade, how I go about it. Now, I said in the opening that what I do is create a thesis, a big picture, right? My big picture here is I think the S&P might be getting ready to correct. So that's my opening thesis. Doesn't mean I won't take long trades, but I want to see, I think this is going to head down, and I think there may be some stocks that are going to lead it down. So I'd like to see if I can find some of those. Sometimes I'll take an individual sector, financials, healthcare, technology, consumer, whatever, because maybe it's leading or lagging the major indexes. But today, the market's been a little tough, right? And it's been tough to pick out an individual sector. So what I decided to do for today is I want to look at everything, right? I just want to look at everything. And what I've got is I've got the everything spreadsheet here, right? So I've got a list here. I did a scan in TradeStation last night, and so I filter out some stocks. So what I did was I don't want to trade penny stocks, so I did a scan where only stocks above $2, and then I also said only stocks below $200 because I don't really like trading the Amazons and the price lines that are up $1,000. Because I publish my trades to my subscribers, and I primarily use options and offer options trades, and those are just too pricey using the risk management method that I teach and that I use myself, right? So we can talk more about that. But so I filtered out anything above 200 and everything below $2. I don't mind low price stocks, and then I filtered out. I only want highly liquid markets. So if it's got to have a 10-day average volume of 200,000 or more, and a market cap of at least 500 million. So I want legitimate liquid companies to look at. And so that's the list. That was the only criteria, no sector, just it's above $2, less than 200, greater than 200,000 shares a day, market cap greater than $500 million, right? That filter landed me 2,234, maybe 33 companies to filter. So that's a pretty good number of companies to go look through, isn't it? That'll and those are the parameters I started with just to get my list, right? So to get 2,200 and something companies to scan. Now I'm going to filter it down. So I said based on the S&P 500 chart, I was interested primarily in bearish trades. Now I talked about earlier at the open. I know some folks are logging in and probably missed it, but I use the applied reality trading system in conjunction with simple Elliott wave, Ichimoku cloud. I call it East meets West. So my primary analysis method is a simple version of Elliott waves. I only got 3 trade setups I'm looking for, right? I use Ichimoku cloud for confirmation. I use the art for further confirmation and for trade management. These pyramids provide really good stop levels, and these 1B, 2Bs are reversal bars, and they provide some input on potential profit-taking areas once we're in profit. This price oscillator helps me understand momentum and changes in momentum, whether it's growing or whether it is running out of steam. And you can see on the S&P 500 how these peaks are getting smaller and smaller on the upside, and the big ones, the negative ones, are getting bigger. That's an indication of maybe some loss of momentum and maybe a trend change. And then this strip is the precision trend filter. It just predicts when it goes green, it predicts highs. When it goes red, it predicts more lows, and it's pretty accurate. So what we can do is combine all those in a scan, and it's called the trade confirmer. It says, hey, if we got bullish um, a bullish owl, which is the price oscillator, if we have a bullish precision trend filter, and we have an uptrend using a trend line, that's a bullish signal, right? So the trade confirmer, the art software would say, hey, for AA, we got all the signs are bullish. And then I can combine it with the Ichimoku cloud signals that the price is above the cloud, right? And the trend is up. And if I have both these different systems saying that we have a bullish trade, and I've just written some logic here in Excel, right? If both of them, like this one, right? Ichimoku says bullish, this says bullish, so I said that's true. They both agree. Well, that would be a pretty strong indication. It's two independent systems calling a chart bullish. But I'm more interested in bearish right now. So what I can do is, that's why I put it in Excel, because it's got really nice sorting, and you put some extra logic in, some formulas, right? So I'm going to be looking for bearish trades where both the ART system and the Ichimoku cloud agree. I think this is what I want. And then I'm going to add a level here. And I'm just measuring how close price is to the cloud, because price breaks through the cloud when the trend first changes. So here's my prioritized list now. So the first symbol here is K. This is saying K, which I think is Kellogg, right? Might be a really good, because ART and Ichimoku cloud are agreeing that this is bearish, and the price is just below the cloud. It's just starting, so that might be a new downtrend. Now I'm going to have to look at 10 to 15 charts to get 1 to 2 trades. That's my running average. So I opened up the session talking about my criteria, but not every chart has a good pattern on it. That's the reality, right? So we have to look through, and I think that's a mistake people make, is getting fixated and go, okay, Apple, how do I trade Apple? I'd love to trade Apple if there's a good trade setup, but if not, I want to move on really fast and find a chart that does have a good trade setup with a pattern I recognize, with a high probability trade. So we're going to look at these charts, and we're going to reject them pretty quickly if they don't have a good pattern. So I'm just going to run through this. So we're going to start with K, and then ExxonMobil, and these symbols. I'll hold this off to the side. I'll bring my chart back, and let's find some trades. So that first one was K. I think that's Kellogg. Again, I'm going to reject more charts than I accept, and I'm going to do it pretty quickly. And so we're looking for bearish trades. Kellogg's been in a down trade. That's way too long, way too mature. I don't jump into trends, don't catch falling knives. So it's that easy to reject that trade. Let's look at ExxonMobil. Same story. Oh, I hope my scan is going to do better than this. So ExxonMobil, again, long downtrend, doesn't look good. Let's look at ALL, was the next on the list. Allstate. Now this is interesting. This is interesting because we have an uptrend. And remember I said I'm looking for trends that have matured and now are beginning to correct. And by golly, look how this thing broke through the Ichimoku cloud. The oscillator turned negative. The trend filter turned negative. All the signs, and we got Dow theory, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, as it breaks down through the Ichimoku cloud. Had kind of a big day on Friday, but one price bar doesn't throw me off, right? It stayed under the cloud. The overall picture here is of a bullish trend about to correct on Allstate Corporation. So that's pretty cool. And now what I want to do is see does this trade make sense? How far will it correct? And is there enough profit? Is there a good reward to risk in this trade? And so what I got to do is find out where the trend began. Now I'm going to use each Fibonacci retracements to see how far, what's the probable retracement zone. So big impulsive, clean impulsive moves like this, the probability is that they're going to correct into a Fibonacci retracement zone between 38.2 and 61.8. And so that looks pretty good. Let's zoom in on Allstate. And now the next thing I want to do with a trade is I want to take a look at the risk to reward on it. So what I want to first establish would be, what's my price? What's my entry price? Well, I think Friday's close is a good entry right there. Now, I wouldn't enter it unless it reversed down. So if it opens Monday and keeps going up, I'm not going to take it, right? Only if it goes down. So that's important to clarify. But I mark my charts up. So this blue is going to be my entry line. My stop, you know, is going to be pretty tight, right there above that last high, that pyramid. I just mark my stop as red. Wait, there we go, so we can see it. And then my target. So every trade I take, I want to have an entry, which is, you know, clear, a stop, and I want to have a target. So again, the retracement target zone is between these two blue lines, Fibonacci 38.2 to 61.8. I'm going to make my target at the top end of that range to be a little bit conservative, right? So that even if it's a shallow retracement, I want to make sure the reward to risk on this trade makes absolute sense. And so now we can measure reward to risk really easily. We can actually put numbers to this and figure out what the exact ratio is. We can also just look at it visually, right? And we can say, if this space between the entry and the stop, if this is risk, and if this is reward, oops, it's not a very straight line. Happened again. Hard to draw with a mouse. All right, these are like 4 or 5 to 1. That's an outstanding reward to risk. And we're going to find out whether this trade's going to fail or not really, really fast. And then I use very specific risk control rules for getting into and out of trades and for position sizing. So we have a formula so that if the trade loses, you never lose more than 2% of your account. So Allstate looks like a nice short. Just if Monday, if it opens down, I would be, you know, totally interested in taking the short on that. And then we manage the trade throughout the life of it. So we looked at 3 charts. We found 1 short. That's pretty good. So let's keep going. Go back to our spreadsheet. So Allstate, next MDT, DHT, on and on and on. Let's just keep rolling here. Again, we're going to reject more charts than we find. That's just the nature of it. How do I enter? Is it on a sell limit? Again, I'd watch the open. As long as it doesn't go higher than Friday's close, I would just go ahead and put in a limit order, you know, get the best fill based on the current bid and ask. And, you know, the way I actually trade that, I would go buy a put contract. You know, nothing, you know, totally legitimate to trade that by shorting the shares, but I prefer to trade that. I just go long a put contract deep in the money with, you know, probably a January contract when I have plenty of time to let that trade move to the target and then go sell the contract for a profit before it expires and before price decay sets in. That's my approach. Okay, MDT, that's nothing. There's nothing there. None of the patterns I'm looking for. DHT. Remember, if you were here, I was talking about my trade setups and I drew a squiggly, ugly line. Well, here it is, DHT. It's a volatile, ugly, squiggly, nothing. That's already CNS, already a massive downtrend. Maybe there's a long later on, but I'm not really looking for that. It's not really a great one anyway. HCCO. Nope. Mess. WMB. I've traded Williams before, but it has totally gone flat. You know, that thing ran way up and then totally went flat. So nothing there for WMB. Via. That's a bigger mess than DHT. CB. Ah. That looks kind of like Allstate, doesn't it? This is the Chubb Group. Ah, another insurance play. So that brings up a good point. You want to be careful about sector weighting. We got 2 insurance companies, so you probably want to figure out which one's the best. They really have the same chart, so they're probably both either going to win or lose. Let's go ahead and measure this one and see. Same method. Yeah, about the same. So we would take an entry here, as long as it doesn't open up and stay up on Monday. So we would take an entry there. We would have our stop. This one's got a little different stop level right there. That consolidation above the cloud, that's a good stop level. And then the target would be inside the retracement zone. It's just how I like to mark my charts up, then it's really clear when I look at them. So there we go. Allstate and Chubb look like pretty good short trades. Everything's pointing that way. Those are nice. And these are corrective moves. So this is the impulsive move. The big trend is up. This is a correction to it, and probably some time later on it's going to continue up. But we can catch a nice, swing down into this correction zone here. So Chubb looks good. Again, might be careful about getting overweighted in a particular sector. Let's look for a few more. Maybe there's something in a different sector. Huh? Yeah, that's a mature downtrend too late. Missed it. Can't get them all. That's a mess. That was SYF. Keep just going through the list here. ENS. That actually, there's a big impulsive move. The correction already happened. So the charts we were looking at before, this is what we're expecting them to do. This correction is already down into the Fibonacci zone. After you do a few thousand of these, you can pretty well spot where it's going to go. Right in the Fibonacci retracement zone. So too late to go short here. And the next move, got to be proven, but the next move is actually up. That's the big trend. But that's a ways out. That's got to get proven too before we mess with that. Isn't it amazing how many companies there are in the U.S.? So that's a big, massive down move. That may be worth watching to see if it's going to find a bottom. Look how the momentum's coming out. That could be a good corrective trade up. That was DIN RGA. This looks just like, this is a good setup. This looks just like Allstate and Chubb. Must be something going on in the insurance sector, huh? Interesting. See, so there's a comment that Joe made from Barron's that HRTG, which must be an insurance company, CB, PGR, all significant market share in Florida. Yeah, so they're going to be paying out some claims, aren't they? For sure. So this is a good setup, but it's the third insurance company. Let's don't mess around with that. Let's look here at just keep going down the list. Okay, now this is a different pattern. Yeah, they're going to get hit with hurricane losses. So those may be good shorts that we were looking at there, huh? See how they go Monday. So Allstate, Chubb, and that other one, the last one we looked at, which was RGA, right? Those all could be potential good short candidates, and I gave you the parameters on the first two. So here's a completely different one, UBS. So the other ones were impulsive moves getting ready to correct. This one has had an impulsive move that corrected, and now we're looking for a continuation of the downtrend. So this is cool. This was called a wave 5, and these are the most highly probable trades. Corrective trades are good, right? But they can be a little messy, right? But now we've got, really 4 prior waves, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're getting ready to start 5. That starts, when you start having that many data points in a predictable pattern beforehand being hit, the next moves get pretty probable. And so what we do is we use a Fibonacci extension. So this is the retracement. We look for a retracement, and look, it met it right into the retracement zone. Now we're looking for an extension down into the next move, the continuation. There, just got to the mute before I sneezed. So this has a target zone down here between 1161 and 745. This looks really good. And again, everything's negative here. We got growing momentum to downside. Precision trend filter saying you got more lows coming. We got lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We broke down through the Ichimoku cloud. Everything we want in a short trade is here for UBS. So let's take a look at what the trade parameters might be on this one. They're pretty good. So we could take this entry right now, assuming, here's Friday's close right there. And as long as nothing dramatic happens at Monday's open, that would be a great short trade to take. I actually like it best of all the ones we've looked at today because wave fives are more probable. But, just standing back and thinking about it from a fundamental and, environmental perspective, those insurance companies, we can probably expect they're going to take a little heat, right, in the short term at least. So that makes sense, both from a technical chart analysis and from a Kentucky windage going, what makes sense here? Yeah, insurance companies are going to have huge payouts. Might go down. That makes sense, doesn't it? So here's our target. Look at the reward to risk on this one. This is stunning, right? This is stunning. Okay, so we found really 4 short trade candidates. In the invitation, I said I think we would find at least 5 good trades. We got 4 nice short candidates: Allstate, Chubb, CB, RGA, and UBS. The first 3 are all same sector insurance companies. This one is different. So I think UBS, they're not insurance, are they? Don't have to guess, we can look it up. I'll bet somebody else has already Googled it. Getting it here. Financial. Yeah, it's a bank. Of course it's a bank. That's right, UBS Financial. Okay, very good. So let's see where we at. We got 4 shorts. As I said, I like to be on both sides of the market. I'm long on a handful of trades right now. We had some big winners in our longs just recently. We got some positions that we're still in long. So I'm not a total bear. I do think the S&P might be poised for a move up. Let's go ahead and look at try and see if we can find some long trades. Using this same spreadsheet, I can resort this, and now instead of looking for bearish trades, I could just resort and start looking for bullish trades. And we could, instead of agree on bear, say they agree on bull. Boom. And out of 2,000 stocks, right, we get a narrowed down list of the ones that may look really, really good. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of these. So the first one here is VWR. Now, with that said, this is looking for bullish stocks. So the likelihood of these having good entry, remember, we've been in a long bull run. So most of these are probably going to have already run up too far. So we may not find any win. There's other methods to go find potential bullish trades, but this one may not yield us anything. This stock, this pattern, I recognize this pattern. You know what this is? I don't even know this, VWR, never heard of them. I'll bet you there's a 99.9% chance that there was an acquisition, right? That's what happens. Boom, goes up and goes totally flat at the price of the acquisition. Nobody's going to pay any more for it. And the only thing that can happen is it goes through and, the acquiring company pays 33 bucks a share, or it falls apart and the share drops like a stone. So don't touch those. That's an easy pattern to spot. The acquired pattern, XRX. Yeah, big long trend, too late to get in. RDS dot NXPI. Big long trend, too late to get in. Boring, boring, boring. I think we're going to keep seeing this with this scan. So there's different approaches for it. I'll give you a couple that we're already watching that I've already found, because I said I'd give you at least 5. So we found Fitbit using a different scan. In fact, one of the members of the trading room brought this up to our attention and loved this trade. So here's a long on Fitbit. We're looking for it to take out this high right here. If it puts in a new high at 681 after falling out of the sky. What was the high on Fitbit? My goodness, 5250-ish, right? Sitting down here at 629. This is a corrective move, right? We got a huge impulsive move to the downside. Looks like there's some optimism coming back in. It's tried once, so it's in this channel. Nice. They call this a fry pan bottom. If it can break out, take out that high, we got a nice trade. This thing could really, and it could just be a short squeeze that starts this off, right? The fundamentals on the company don't have to change. Just all the short people having to get out and get their profit. That could run it up dramatically. This thing could double. Right? We got a price target based on the retracement zone of 2026. That's a huge reward to risk. So there's Fitbit long. We like that one. Yeah, Joe's saying there should be some healthcare biotech that are recovering. We've done really, really well. We just closed a trade, and not just on the little ones, right? We just closed a trade on Gilead. We got long on Gilead. Kind of the similar pattern. It wasn't channeling as long as that one we just looked at Fitbit, but this was a corrective wave trade, right? Gilead had this huge down move, and we were looking for a correction to it. And we got it. We got in this at 67.70. We just closed it up at 82.24. That's a nice move. That was a nice trade. So this method works. Not every trade wins. Some lose. Here's our latest loser, AOS. Looked like it was going to correct. We took a short at this blue line here. Boom. It popped up and stopped us out. But look at the size of the loser compared to the size of the wins that we get. So this is a great method, and we use very strict risk control. That's how it goes. Okay, I know you guys have typed in a few symbols that you were interested in. I'd love to take a look at some of yours. So just let me know. Go ahead and type them in again, because they're crazy far back in the thread there. So PDLI, and I'll try to keep up here. Who knows? You might. The pick of the day might be one that you guys have. Yeah, we had traded PDLI. We had traded it, and it was pretty messy. So we tried to catch this move. It went down and stopped us out. Small loss. Then it took off. A little late now. We had a target up here. It's a little late. So it could have been, should have been, but ain't. Kona. I saw it flying by. That's a great trade. That is the exact same pattern that we had on UBS. This is phenomenal. We're going to use this current move right here to establish our retracement zone. This is really nice. So who was it that typed in Kona? Brad. Yes, Brad's a graduate, a student. Of course, he's coming up with great trade ideas. So we could enter this right now. We would have a stop down here and a target up here. So Kona looks phenomenal. Kona Grill. We would want to scan, make sure that the earnings aren't coming out. There's not an M&A on the table. They're not going into Chapter 11, and that they have good volume. But so they had 57,000 shares traded on Friday. You want to make sure the average is more than that. I like at least 200,000 a day average for liquidity. I like to trade liquid stocks so that the bid and the ask is relatively tight. And when you want to get out, you can get your order filled and get out. You don't want to be stuck holding a thinly traded stock. That's not good. Win for G. Yeah, that's a big long run. It looked like it tried to correct, so you're just waiting for the real correction to begin. We're getting thin in the cloud here, but we got to break down and then see if there's enough profit. So, huge, impressive run, but too late to get long, too early to get short. Vic, Lulu, okay. Yeah, that's just too chaotic for me. Just look how it just swings wildly with no real pattern or rhyme or reason to it. So big, huge gaps, gap up, gap down. Who knows what the next one's going to be? Don't like it. Sorry. Kent, mining shares, So we're long Vail, and we love it. It's too late to get in, but I got to show you because it's just fun. Right? We got long on Vail 903, sitting up here at 11, right? So that's like a 20% gain. And we're looking for a target up here at 1223 or above. We've already taken profit. We've already moved our stop. We've taken a third of this position off to lock in some profit. So that's well underway. I'll give you one more. One of our new trades in mining. We like GDX. I'll bet gold. We like GDX right now, and you can still get in. So you can take an entry here. The target on GDX is $31. So there's quite a bit of room left on that one. So that looks really, really nice. Insurance ETF, you could go look for that. There's a great website. It's called ETFDB database, and you can screen for ETFs that way. It's a kind of a safer play, right? It's kind of like a mutual fund. You get a handful of stocks, but your bigger pop, your bigger percentage gain is going to be on individual stocks. So Mark just listed. Hey, Mark, if you want to, I'll copy that so everybody can see it. Let me make sure I send this to everybody. There, Mark had listed some insurance ETF symbols. Thank you for that. Well, thanks, Kent. Said, wow, stuff. Great. Where did we most recently enter GTX? Right here at this blue line, that's our entry. We got into GDX at 24.39. That's one I published to my stock and option picks subscribers. And so that takes us to a good transition. So we do this I have a live trading room. It's open Monday through Thursday. And this is what we do, right? We find good trades, we take them, we manage them, we do a little teaching, we share ideas, and not day trading. We're taking, these are stock and option trades on daily or 60-minute or 30-minute, right? At any given moment, we probably have 10 open positions. We track them, when to take profit, when to move the stop, and we have a watch list. We're watching. Right here, we've got a list of 8 stocks that are super good candidates. I'm going to add some of these other ones that we identified today. So in the trading room, hour and a half in the morning, Monday through Thursday, we go through and we find outstanding trades every day, and we manage them, and people are making good money on it. And if you're not able to attend the trading room, I have a stock and option pick service where I publish my picks, every trade that I'm taking with my own money, my own account. And I just send updates. I put them on the website. I send an email. I send text alerts when there's changes to the trade. So that's available. Yeah, MB, when I'm looking at the cloud, do I look at the right hand? So for support and resistance, it's really, the current support and resistance are, at the current price bar, but it's also predicting future support and resistance areas. So that's how you interpret that. So I got a stock and option pick service. We take 1 to 2 trades per day. These are stock and option trades, right? But here's the deal. Maybe you're interested in the trading room. Maybe you're interested in the stock and option pick service. Maybe you're not sure. What we can do is take a 30-day trial, get both, right? So if you, for $39, you can take a 30-day trial to my, it's a 30-day trial to my stock and option picks, right? And it frees a free one-on-one phone consultation with me. Let's hook up on the phone. Let's get you off to a good start. We have a Wednesday night chat session where we go through every pick. I publish a video on the weekend, give an update. So, and every step of the way on these trades, the entry, the stop price, taking profit, when we're going to get out, the share trade information or the option trade information, whatever you want, that's what we publish. And then I'll give you a 30-day trial in my trading room, right? And so it's a BOGO offer. You buy one, get one. For $39, you get a month of stock picks. You get a month in the trading room. And let me put a link up here for you. And at the end of that, you can figure out which one's best for you and stick with that, or both. There's a bundle price. So there's a link if you'd like to check that out. And now what I got a couple existing customers and students teed up here. And what I'm going to do is just unmute them and let them, give their experience. What's their experience been in the trading room with the picks and the classes, whatever. So Larry, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to go ahead and unmute your mic now. And again, just share your experience with my service, and then maybe people would have questions that you could answer. We'll watch the chat thing there.
Okay, can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, very good. Good to be here today. I've been working with Dean for a little over 2 months now. Been a very good experience. Dean's a good, honest, sincere guy. He really does care about the people that subscribe to his services and that he talks to. And he always has time to answer your questions. And that's impressive. I'm in the Master Trader program right now, just finishing up. We've got one more week to go. It's a good program also. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot working with Dean, and I made some money. I guess it doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
There you go. That's what people want to hear. If you made money.
Yeah, it has been profitable. You get some ups and downs, but we get more ups and downs, and that's good.
Yeah. Every trade.
I'm talking about the future.
We can't win every trade, but we can be profitable when managers. What do you think the biggest thing you learned, the biggest aha, Larry?
Probably discipline as much as anything. That used to be one of my problems. Too much impulsive actions, not really thinking things through well enough, and I'm much more disciplined in my approach to things. It's one thing that's impressive about what we're doing is that even though we have a lot of losses, the winners are much bigger than the losses, and that's how it all works.
There we go. I don't know if we have a lot of losses. Come on, man.
Well, percentage-wise, it's maybe it seems like you ought to win a lot more than you lose, but it doesn't necessarily turn out that way. But as long as you keep your losses small, it's okay. It works.
That's right. That's the key. Risk control. Small losers, big winners. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, there's a question Joe's asking you, Larry. How does your performance compare to the S&P 500 this year? I don't know. You've only been doing it a few months, so maybe not a fair comparison. But what do you think?
Oh, S&P doesn't compare. It's not even close. My personal performance on the last 3 or 4 months with Dean's work and other things too is it's so much above the S&P. It's even hard to talk about because people think I'm just stretching the point. But no, it's been very good, very good. I would like to say that I've been in this business for a while, and I've met a lot of people, and of all the people I've met, Dean's the only person that I would give you a recommendation for.
Wow.
Wow. He does a good job, and you can trust him, and it's been a great experience.
Thank you very much, Larry. Those are kind words, and I work really hard to provide a good service here. So thank you. I'm going to go ahead and mute you and give the other folks a chance here to speak. Thank you so much, Larry. And,
Okay, good talking to all of you.
all right, take care. And good luck in recovery down there in Houston, man.
You bet.
All right, Anthony, I'm going to go ahead and open your mic up and let you take a few questions or just make any comments you have. So go ahead, Anthony. You there? Oh, it was working before. We had his microphone going before. Oh, we'll give it a second. I don't know if Dean Anthony is still on the line. I'll give you a shot here, Dean Anthony. You there?
Yep, I'm here.
That's Dean?
Yep,
okay.
I'm here.
The other Dean. Okay, great. Yeah, if you just offer any comments you have there, Dean, about your experience, that'd be great.
Okay. I think it's best to start with 15, let's call it. I've been searching for the next shiny object, you know, the $3,000 software that when it tells you to buy, you buy, and it tells you to sell, you sell, and you just make money. It's just that simple. You just got to pay more money for the software. So after going through a lot of that, I got discouraged and just quit it altogether. And there's lots of people out there they'll tell you about. One guy said $1 million on one trade. Okay, and they tell you all about their winners, but they don't really talk about the losers. And they don't really have a system that I found that consistently works, at least in my case. So anyway, to fast forward probably a month and a half, I signed up for that master's program because I have a job. I can't sit here in front of a screen every day for 4 to 6 hours waiting for something to happen, and I just don't have that kind of time. So what appealed to me about Dean's methodology is it's systematic, it's definable, you can put it in a trade plan, it's rule-based, not emotion-based. And I got to the point where even before I took the 3rd class in his master's program, I just started following his trades. And overall, there were three that didn't work out, but the 2 that did were double or more of what the other ones were. But that's hard for me. That was a little different, but it works. The bottom line is what he teaches for me has worked, and I'm in the green. And you know, people will tell you that there's all these phases of trading, you know, losing, breaking even is actually a win. And then the 5 or 10% of all traders make money. Well, in 2 months, I'm making money, and I've had some wins and had some losses, but just following the methodology, you don't have to watch it every day or every minute. Let's just say you don't have to obsess about it. You take the trade and let it mature. And his trades are 60 to 120 days or more, and it follows a methodology. So that's all I can tell you. If you have a job and you want to have a methodology that is from what I experienced, a proven success, then I think Dean's ways, you know, it's worked for me.
All right. Hey, thank you so much, Dean. Thanks for just taking the time, and it's been great working with you. And I'm going to go ahead. I think Anthony's mic is going to work now, so I'm going to mute you, Dean. And just have a great day and be safe down there.
All right, buddy. Everybody be good. Bye. Thank you, Dean.
All right, Anthony, you good? I think it's open here. Oh, that's a bummer. It's not working. Okay, I'll take a couple questions that are coming in here. Oh, is that you, Anthony?
Are we there?
There we go. Nice.
Okay, great. I had to plug it back in. I don't know what happened. Good morning, everybody. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Let me first say, first and foremost, that I've been with Dean about less than a month. And prior to being fortunate enough to finding his website and materials, I scoured the internet and looked at 5 or 6 different training and teaching programs. And a few of them sounded pretty good. But upon closer examination, when I saw some of these teachers in action, I wasn't really seeing the follow through from what they were promoting in their commercials and whatnot. I wasn't seeing that ring true in the actual application of what they were teaching. So basically, I went this direction. I took Dean up on a couple of the offers, one similar to what you're looking at now, and got involved in the trading room and kind of watched them and put some pieces together. And then I did go ahead and sign up for the Master Trader program. And I was pleased to find a lot of organized, very structured material with lots of content. It's not reams and reams of reading, but it really cuts to the chase and gets to the nuts and bolts of what you need. And then it's complemented with the webinars. And, he's always available for question and answer. And I guess the biggest thing that struck to me is, Dean's heart for always wanting to helping people, and his friendliness. He's always there to answer and take questions, which really spoke out loud to me. But I guess the biggest thing was when I looked at his track record and I saw what was going on in the trading room and how he was executing the very same principles that he was teaching in the class live in the trading room. That really called out to me. And I could see why, between the rules of how we get in a trade, how we get out of a trade, if you're disciplined and you're consistent, it's not about being greedy. He never talks about getting rich quick. It's all about a structured plan. You're going to have losers, but the key is, if your risk reward trade setups are better than what you have to lose, you're going to win in the long run. It's very conscious about money management, and not putting your account or yourself in jeopardy with it. And I just really appreciated it. So if you're looking for a good plan and you want somebody who knows what they're talking about and who is transparent, transparency in this business, in the teaching business, from what I've seen out there, is really scarce. It's very difficult to find. And here's somebody who is letting their numbers and what they're doing speak for themselves, because when you're in the trading room, you're seeing when he's calling out these trades, you're getting where he's going to put his stop. You're getting what his target is. And then, within hours, that trade that was launched in the trading room is put on the spreadsheet for those who are getting the pick. So, that speaks for itself. The guy's willing to put his money where his mouth is. It's not based on hype or fluff. And I really appreciate that, because if somebody's willing to do that, then they have a lot of confidence in what they're teaching. And that's the kind of person that I want to follow.
Wow. Thanks, Anthony. I really appreciate your comments. It's been great working with you, and appreciate your time and, willing to make those comments. So take care, man. And
thank you, Dean.
One comment somebody asked, hey, everybody who spoke was kind of brand new. They said, hey, do you have any clients willing to make a comment that have been with you more than a year? I know we got a few online. I know, I think I saw your name, Jack. If any of the longer term, not everybody's available, or Mike's not working to speak, or, not their thing. But any of the longer term customers, if you want to type in a comment to all attendees just about, your endorsement, your experience, that would be appreciated. It'd be awesome. I'm going to catch up on questions here. Question about Thinkorswim. Yeah, there's several customers using Thinkorswim and having good success with that. And I don't sell indicators. I use the art indicators, but they're not required for my system. Right? You can just follow my signals, or you can, if you want to analyze them yourself. In the course, I talk about some free indicators that come really, really close. Right? I like the art; they give me a good edge, but there are some free indicators that I teach that are available pretty good. Oh, there's a comment. Hey, Terry, thank you very much. That's a nice comment to the Jim's asking about the Master Trader program. Yeah, every 8 weeks I run a 6-week course. So I wasn't really here, I was talking about today about doing some scanning and offering this trial. There is another 6-week course coming up, and it's called the Master Trader Program, and we bundle quite a bit. It's the overall trading platform, trading program that I use. It's option basics. It's Ichimoku Cloud, risk management, everything. You get 90 days of the stock picks. You get 90 days in the trading room along with that. You get 6 weeks of live training in a small group setting. So that's coming up. Maybe I can find a link for that for those who are interested. Real quick, just give me a minute and I will get that for you. I didn't have that teed up. But meanwhile, if you're interested in this, this is a pretty easy toe in the water if you want to find out what's going on with my service. And I see the questions about the record and the log, and I'm going to get to those. You've heard a few folks say that, I'm transparent. I take pride in that. I work hard at being very transparent. What you see is what you get, and the results I'm talking about, I have records and proof to back that up. But let me grab this link about the class for those who are interested, and then we'll take a look at the record and the log, because I got nothing to hide. Juan says tiny URL does not work. Please don't tell me that. It should work. There's Robert. Thank you. Very nice comment. Paolo, Jack. So here's some longer term customers and giving some endorsement there for folks who are interested in looking for that. Thank you very much, guys, for typing those in. Let me get that link. Is that tiny URL really not working? That's just killing me. I tested it. So here, let's hope this works. Here's a link for the Master Trader course if you were interested in that. Let me get the link here for the tiny URL for the 30-day offer. Let's just see. That works for me. But let me give you this URL. Maybe that'll work. Try this URL if you were interested in that. That's the root, right? Tiny URL is just a redirect. So there's the real deal. Yeah, it worked for Steve. Maybe there's, some folks saying it worked, some didn't. Maybe it's a browser thing or whatever. But there's the full URL. Okay. Cindy Tan phone number. Yeah, if you go to the homepage, Cindy, in the footer on every page, here's our phone number, right? And an email you can get a hold of us at. Right there's the phone number. Footer on every single page on followmetrades.com. Yeah, the Master Trader courses, we do them every Thursday, and I offer it at 2 different times. And so it's, let me go to the link here. It's at 9 a.m. in the morning Pacific time, and it's at 6 p.m. So I know there's different time zones. People work, people are, different geographies. So here's the page for the Master Trader small group starting on the 28th, next round. There's an early registration offer there. There's all about the content, bonuses, and I'm getting to the schedule. Right, so here's the schedule. Every Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific, which is 12 Eastern, 6 p.m. or 9 Eastern. So you can attend one or both. If you miss them, they're recorded. Right, there's an archive of every one we've ever done. And by the way, alumni are always invited. So when I start these sessions, right, people who graduated prior, are welcome to sit in, and they quite often do, to come for a refresher, to ask questions, and you get that too, right? You go through it. It's not a one-shot deal, right? You have lifetime access to the study guide, to the training videos, to the recording of your training session, and you can sit in on any future ones for free. So I don't speak French. One guy was asking, said if I spoke, if I did it in French, he'd be in. I'm sorry, I don't. Mark, do I only buy options? I prefer to buy options, but when I teach a very specific options method, which is going long on calls, long on puts. There's 1,000 ways to trade options. I like to keep it really simple. So I'm a directional trader, right? I'm looking for an up move on a chart or a down move that's highly probable. When I see that, for me, the simplest, lowest risk, highest profit approach is to buy a put or buy a call. But I publish the signals and the information so folks can either buy the shares, go short the shares. They can use the option contract that I'm using. And several traders, they like spreads, they like whatever, right? They take my signals off the chart and they go use their own strategy. So each person's a little different. That's funny. Juan, send me an email. I'm sorry, Juan, if you lost the link. That yeah, the link for the trading room is only good for 1 week, and it looks like maybe you didn't renew. Send me an email. We'll get you fixed up, Juan, if you want to be in the trading room. And my email address is dean@followmetrades.com. I just typed it in there. So yeah, shoot me an email, Juan. We'll definitely get you fixed up. Yeah, Eric, how to see an actual trade log. So for the stock and option picks, I know you'd asked about that. Right here on the homepage, followmetrades.com. Here is my yearly results, and you can see for the last 3 years, right? 2015, 16, 17. You click on that, it gives you the detail of every single trade, as well as the trading statistics, right? So that's the stock and option pick service. In the trading room, we track a very similar spreadsheet. It is, I will show you here, my trading room results. So we started tracking them just like the stock picks back in at the start of Q2. So any trade closed in Q2, we've started tracking, and we've closed 30 trades since Q2 with in a $50,000 account, what we're modeling here. Right, everything's normalized to a $50,000 account. It's up 25%. And I've got some recent trades to go add to this. We closed Gilead and a couple others. We had a couple small losers on the SPY and AOS, but this number is probably going to go up to over 30% win. So that's my trading log for the trading room, and that's posted in the website when you sign up. And this is on the homepage of my website, my stock picks performance. We take more trades in the trading room, right? A little bit more active, but there you go. Okay, thanks for being here, everyone else. Good. That was Eric. Yeah, you bet, man. You're welcome, Mark. So I'll hang here and answer any other questions that come in. I got time. Manny, you just posted your email. Were you looking for something? Hey, Tom, you're welcome. Good, I'm happy to hang out and take any questions you have about my trading method, trading in general, the offer. Let's get that back up. So what we're offering for 39 bucks is 30-day trial of my stock and option picks and my trading room. You get them both for 30 days, 100-day money back guarantee. If you're not happy, I don't want you. I'll give you money back. No hard feelings, no questions. All right. And at the end of the 30 days, you can figure out which service is best for you or bundle them both. Okay, he's asking for someone who speaks French. That'd be you, right? I guess. Debbie, well, that's awesome. Karen's awesome. So glad that she recommended you. Glad you showed up. Good to have you here. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. And, anybody that has questions, if you really want to talk, shoot me an email and we can jump on the phone and answer questions, right? I want you to be comfortable with it. Kent, yeah, when I buy options, how much time? I analyze the chart and I want the underlying chart to hit my target and be gone. I want it to hit my target and I want to go close the position, take my profit, hopefully, long before the expiration, well before we get into the last 30 days. So I look at the chart, look at some time cycles, and then I pick an expiration date far enough out so I can have it hit the target, have the trade play out, be out of it well before expiration. And yeah, I go deep in the money, high delta. On a directional trade, that's where the money is. Manu says he's in. Hey, Kent, you're welcome. Totally welcome. All right, Manu, great. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? I can hang out here and field questions for as long as you have them. Hey, Emmanuel, you're welcome. Do I set a percentage for profit target or just fib numbers? So I use Fibonacci tools to project a target zone, right? I'm not looking for a percentage gain, but I'm looking primarily at risk to reward. That what I really want is that the potential amount that we would win would be bigger than the potential amount we would lose, right? So if you look at my charts, I always have a blue line for my entry price, a red line for my stop, and a green line for my target. I want this to be just like this, to be much bigger, so that if the trade loses, we lose a little bit. It's a small winner. And if the trade wins, it's big, right? We only have to win half the trades if this is true. If this hits the target, right? If the losers are way smaller than the winners, we only have to win half. That takes a lot of pressure off. We try to win more than half, right? Yeah, so rather than a percent gain, I'm looking at the reward to risk ratio. Yeah, Ron, this is recorded as long as the file doesn't get corrupted, the recording will be posted. Yeah. Yeah, the trading room is from 6:15 a.m. Pacific time to 7:45. So that's 9:15 to 10:45 Eastern. And it's Monday through Thursday, hour and a half. We're not day trading, we're not watching the whole session. We're just looking for good trade setups, adjusting our existing positions, and answering questions, doing a little teaching, watching for market direction. Then we log off. Eileen, what happens if you have a naked call on a trade? If it moves in a big direction and you get assigned, you got a big problem. If you don't have cash in your margin account, you get this very aggravating margin call from your broker. So naked calls, writing naked calls is a risky endeavor. MB, you have trouble knowing when to exit. Yeah, that's where having a defined trading plan is so helpful, right? I was there years ago and finally, got enough training and experience, developed my method where there's no questions. Once we're in a trade, it's a mechanical process. A, B, C, D. I don't hedge my portfolio in the traditional sense that you would think of, if you go look up what does hedging mean, right? But what I do is trade both sides of the market. And if there's a dramatic, so I got, a handful of longs, I got a handful of shorts, right? My open, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long positions right now, 3 short. We're probably going to be adding some more short next week, right? So I'm looking for great setups to the downside, great setups to the long side. If there's a dramatic market move, right? Yeah, there's a fair chance that some on the wrong side of that are going to get taken out, but the ones on the right side of it are going to be disproportionately large. So we're going to be okay. So that's not traditional hedging, but I don't go all in to one sector. I don't go all in one way. The $39 offer be good for this week. The buy one get one you know, 39 bucks, you get both of them for 30 days. That's really today only, right? So, you know, kind of my thing is, you know, sign up before I hang up and you'll get this deal. You can always get the $39 stock picks, but not the BOGO, right? That's for today only. But Peter, send me an email if you got some special situation. And you know, I don't want to turn away an interested customer. Send me an email. We'll work something out. Ron, do I ever use TOS? I don't. I got several customers who are using TOS, and you know, I've got TradeStation. I'm focused on it, and it works for me. That's a good point. Thanks, Jack. We do record the live trading room every day, like we're recording this. And so somebody misses it, they want to go see what was going on, right? The video is posted, and I keep a spreadsheet. We post that on the website of, you know, all the trades and changes, so you can log in and see if we've moved a stop, taken profit, if there's a new trade, something new on the watch list. It's all posted on the website. So if you're a member of the trading room and you know you can't be there, you still get the information. Ron, where do we sign up for the 30-day trial? You sign up right here. Let me get you the link. We'll do this instead of the tiny URL because apparently that didn't work well. So it's this web page, and I'm posting the link right here, Ron. Cindy said, "Can I use Thinkorswim?" Absolutely. And there's some folks several folks in the course and the picks and the trading room using TOS, and they're able to follow along and do their thing just fine. Sam, is my scanning proprietary? I guess the method I use for scanning is proprietary. I teach it in my Master Traders course. I absolutely teach it. Yeah, we got a recording here. I'll send out an email with a recording of the session here. A couple folks are asking about that. Yeah, David, you signed up. Hey, thanks. Look forward to seeing you in the room. Adding the trading room is a manual process, so I will do that after we get out. Within an hour of hanging up here, we'll get you the trading room link all set up. There's a comment from Jack. People are asking about TOS, so he's using it. It works great, he says. Yeah. Maria, how often do I send options out? So I send new trades out about 1 to 2 times a week for the stock picks, and I include the information. You can trade the shares or you can trade the options. Your choice. Same trade, same underlying chart. There's just 2 different ways to play it, right? Whether you want to buy or sell shares or you buy the options. But about 1 to 2 trades per week, and then updates throughout. We got probably about 10 open positions, 8 to 10. So updates as we're moving the stop, taking profit, closing trades. Yeah, which days? So you're asking about the trading room is Monday through Thursday, hour and a half right at the open of the market. The stock and option picks, I send out updates as they occur. There is a Wednesday night live chat session if you want to log in and find out what's going on with the trades and ask questions. And once again, thanks to panelists, to Dean Anthony, Larry, and Anthony Ramirez, who were able to log in and make comments. I sure appreciate you guys doing that. That means a lot. Yeah, the average trade. So I'm trading primarily on daily charts, and those trades on average last from 6 to 8 weeks. I occasionally will publish a short-term pick on 30-minute or 60-minute charts, and we're in those from a couple days to a week or 2. Okay, like I said, I'm happy here just to to answer any questions. MB says he's in. Thank you. Look forward to it. Yeah, Manu, you'll get a user ID and password momentarily here. And again, the trading room, I got to go add that manually. So within an hour after we close this call, I'll get that to you. Yeah, you should be getting a welcome email with password login and stuff. But I'll go confirm all that. Emmanuel, you are very welcome. You're very welcome. Thanks for being here. So again, the BOGO deal, where you sign up for the trial, $39 for 30 days. You get both my stock picks and the trading room, and 100% money back guarantee for 30 days. That 2-for-1 thing, buy one get one, that's over when we hang up the call. So if you're interested in that, you want to check it out and give it a shot. I'll post that link one more time. There we go. That link's in the chat area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go on mute, take a quick break, and then I will be back. I'll leave the link up here. I'll leave the call open for about 5 or 10 more minutes. See if there's more questions if you're trying to sign up, and then we'll wrap it up. So I'll be right back. Go on hold. Hey, Eric, you're welcome. Yeah. So thank you very, very much for being here today. Thanks for all your participation, your questions. Thanks again to Larry, to Anthony, and to Dean, who were able to offer their experience as customers. I really sure do appreciate that. But have a great day. If you're down in Florida, I know a couple folks are, boy, thoughts and prayers to you and your family. I hope you stay safe, got a place to go and ride that out. All right. That is it. And we're going to wrap it up. Have a great day. Trade safe. However you trade, be careful. Keep your winners big and your losers small, and have fun. Trading should be fun. Thanks.